We all periodically see and hear a headline about another electric car catching on fire. So, are EVs more prone to catching fire than the good old combustion engine? Let's see if science can zap some sense into the headlines. Full disclosure before we put the pedal to the metal here. As I write this piece, I currently own a V6 from 1983, a V8 from 2010, a 2018 plug-in hybrid V6 minivan, and a 2017 fully electric vehicle. Like most of you listening, I grew up with and still own and still enjoy gasoline vehicles. But over the past few years, I have also added daily experience with hybrids and fully electric vehicles. I own and drive all current vehicle technology. 2 of my vehicles actually still have 3 pedals and a stick shift. So, as an owner of a fully electric vehicle and gas vehicles, my curiosity sparked with the most recent electric vehicle fire headlines. Do they actually catch fire more often than gas vehicles like the headlines can lead us to believe? I also worked in the industry creating those headlines from 2009 to 2021, so that's a little bit extra experience. But let's burn some rubber and race to the data. Since EVs still only make up a small percentage of vehicles on the road compared to gas vehicles, it is best to look at fire data per 100,000 vehicles. If we don't do this and just look at the numbers on the whole, gas vehicles greatly outnumber EVs, and so do gas vehicle fires. On the whole, gas and gas hybrid vehicles combined for over 215,000 fires in 2023. Electric vehicles, 52. On the whole, there were 52 electric vehicle fires and over 215,000 gas vehicle fires. Don't worry, all sources are published in the podcast notes for you to comb through yourself. So, per 100,000 cars, hybrid gas cars account for 3,474 fires per 100,000 cars. Gas-only vehicles account for 1,529 fires per 100,000 cars. And pure electric vehicles account for 25 fires per 100,000 cars. That is just the pure, boring data. Given the frequency and urgency of the headlines, the cold hard stats just don't burn as hot. EV fire headlines are very similar to shark attack headlines, like we've covered in our podcast series, Sharks, Truth Be Told, linked in this podcast description, of course. The headlines make shark attacks seem common, when in fact, there were only about 60 attacks last year and about 5 to 6 deaths annually. EV fires are similarly uncommon, yet very highly publicized. But like shark attacks, EV fires, when they do occur, are sensational and uniquely dangerous versus gas fires. Let's put it this way. We have over 100 years of emergency protocol to put out gasoline fires, and almost none to put out lithium battery fires. Each EV fire is an experiment to put out, to say the least. When gasoline catches fire, it burns out quickly and can be starved of oxygen to be snuffed out. Lithium batteries do not require outside oxygen to burn and cannot be snuffed out in the same way. Lithium batteries, under thermal runaway, will continue to burn even underwater. In fact, water can further fuel the reaction. While there are foam-based fire extinguishers containing a cocktail of ingredients to help slow down a lithium battery fire, the best protocol we know of yet is to literally let a lithium fire burn out on its own as safely as possible. No joke, that's the best official solution we have so far. We can't leave lithium batteries behind soon enough as technology marches forward. Lithium batteries, by the way, are inside of almost everything, including the device you're likely using to listen to this podcast. So, to recap, per 100,000 vehicles, 3,474 hybrids caught fire, 1,529 gas vehicles caught fire, and 25 EVs caught fire. So, do EVs catch on fire more often than gas vehicles? No. In fact, based on the cold data, a vehicle running on gasoline is about 200 times more likely to end up in flames than an EV. But when an EV does catch fire, there is very little that can be done about it. So, although extremely rare, EV fires are quite sensational. Hence the headlines, hence the hype, and hence the perception. It's always that pesky data throwing a wet towel on the embers of opinion. Please drive safely and properly maintain whatever you're driving. I've been your mental curator, Johnny Hemberger, and this is Science Bites. Thanks for listening, and stay curious.